What's up guys, today we're going to look at comparing the TTK or time to kill for weapons with different damage models, such as a RFB that does 45 damage and is a 3-shot, a Scar H that does 33 damage and is a 4-shot, or an AK-12 that does 24 damage and is a 5-shot. Now, some maths is going to be involved in the explanation of how this works, but the end results are easily explainable. Now, my decision to make this video actually arose as a result of an epiphany I had regarding the heavy hitters and their effectiveness. After the September patch, I largely disregarded what had previously been some of my favorite weapons, such as the Scar H and Ace 52 CQB, under the assumption that a heavy damage penalty had been applied that rendered these weapons basically obsolete. Recently, however, I realized that I had been approaching the TTKs of this weapon incorrectly. Today, I'm gonna be telling you guys the right way. I'm gonna start out with the statement that the Scar H has a slightly lower TTK than the SG553 carbine, and has the equivalent TTK as a weapon with the standard damage model, and fires at 826.666 recurring rounds a minute. Here's why. The Scar H fires at 620 rounds a minute. That means between each shot, there's a interval of about 0.097 seconds. Now, to be more accurate, it's actually a 0.096741935483871 second interval. But that would be a pain in the ass to use and talk about, so we're going to stick to 3 decimal places. Anyway, you require 4 bullets, which means 3 intervals. If you hold up 4 fingers, you'll notice that there are 3 gaps between those fingers. Yeah, I know it's a terrible analogy, but give me a break. I mean, it's a hard life. 3 intervals is 0.291 seconds, which is your TTK with the Scar H. Now imagine there's a gun that fires at 826.666 and so forth rounds a minute with the standard 24 to 18 assault rifle damage model. Because it's a 5-shot rather than a 4-shot, you want to be measuring 4 intervals. An interval would be 0.7258, that kind of thing. And multiplying that by 4 gives you about 0.29 seconds. 0.29 seconds, 0.291 seconds. That's close enough. Now that shows that the Scar H has the same TTK as a weapon that fires the standard damage model at 826.6666666 rounds a minute. Now, of course, that might sound like utter gibberish to you, and you didn't follow into anything I just said. And luckily, there's an easier way to think about it. What I generally try to do when I'm comparing weapons to each other, especially ones with different damage models, is I try to convert the RPM of, say, heavy hitters or DMRs to what a standard damage model weapon like an M416 would have if it were to have the same time to kill, because that just makes it a lot easier to compare. For example, I could say that the Bulldog fires at an equivalent rate of fire of 933.33 recurring. Now you might be thinking, wait, how'd you get there? Well, what you do is you divide your given fire rate. In this case, it's 700 because the Bulldog fires at 700 RPM, and then you divide it by the number of intervals there are, which is, by the way, the number of shots just -1. So you divide it by 3, and then you multiply it by the number of intervals of the standard damage model, which is 4. So basically 700 divided by 3 times 4, and that gives you 933.33. Now, I'll give you another example. This time we're going to use the PKP Peschneg that fires at 600 rounds a minute. Once again, divide by 3. That's 200 multiplied by 4. That's 800, and that's its equivalent standard damage model fire rate. And because of this, we can conclude that the PKP has the same TTK as the MG4. This can also apply to DMRs, but the thing is, the DMRs are 3 shots, so you don't divide by 3. You divide by 2 and then multiply by 4. So you basically just multiply their fire rates by 2. For example, this SKS fires at about 333 RPM, I think. Just multiply this by 2. And so it has the same time to kill as a standard assault rifle that fires at 666 rounds a minute. Now, I hope you guys understood at least partially what I was talking about, and if not, you can always ask to clarify, and I will make it my personal mission to teach you. Now, the realization that the heavy hitting weapons actually had better TTKs than I had previously thought gives me hope, and I'll probably use these weapons a lot more. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, or at least learned something. Thanks for watching. Peace out.